Smells like football, baby.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back into the Fantasy Football Smackdown. I'm your host, Kyle August. You can follow me on Twitter at KyleMonth8, and I'm getting you set on waiver wire sniping here today ahead of Week 7. Yeah, that's right. We're covering the wire guys that you should be picking up next week already, so you can add these guys for free, stash them on the end of your bench ahead of Week 6, and then when everybody's looking for them on the wire next week, you already have them. We got 6 teams on bye this week, so it's going to be a big week for waiver wire sniping. You're going to want to stay ahead of the game and continue to tune in right here on YouTube every single Saturday morning as I take you through the rest of the season and covering all the players that you should be stashing every week. So get ahead of your league mates. Let's just jump right into it, man. So we're gonna show the teams on bye for the week heading into Week 7. We got some high-powered offense. A lot of teams are going to be decimated by this Week 7 bye. The Buffalo Bills, the Dallas Cowboys, the Jags, the Chargers, the Vikings, and the Steelers. A ton of firepower out in Week 7, in addition to all the injuries that we're already dealing with, of course. So you're going to want to stash these guys to make sure that you have the full complement of weapons on your team to help make up for some of these high-powered players being out for Week 7. So here we go. Let's jump into the quarterbacks. The streamers for Week 7. I put Matt Ryan on this list even though he's 55% owned. Usually I'm using a threshold of 50% for this show, but because Matt Ryan is on bye in Week 6, he's probably been dropped in a bunch of leagues. So I'm putting him at the top of this list. If he's available, you can stash him now, even with him on bye, and play him as your top quarterback streamer for Week 7. He gets the Miami Dolphins. It's in Miami, but Miami will be traveling back from England and not having a bye week. So I'm sure that defense is going to be tired. Atlanta's going to be extra rested. Talk about an advantage. So I'm going Matt Ryan at the top. Number 2 on this list, and number 1, if you're looking at under 50%, for me is another quarterback that's on bye this week. It's Jameis Winston. He's 36% owned right now. He has been dropped in a bunch of leagues due to him being on bye this week. And the case that he's usually in the streamer category anyway. But he gets the Seattle Seahawks. Jameis has been hot or cold. The pass attempts have been low all season. But I think this is a game that you can bet on him, and I would against the Seahawks in Week 7. Number 3 on this list is Justin Fields. The rookie's at Tampa Bay, 33%. Also, fellow rookie Trey Lance. Dealing with that injury, he's on bye this week, so not a lot of news on him. He gets Indy at home, 33%. If he's active, he would definitely be towards the top of this list, right there with Jameis, if I knew he was active and 100% healthy. But with the injury, I bumped him down just a bit due to the uncertainty. We didn't get to hear a lot about that injury due to San Fran being on bye this week, Week 6. And number 5 on this list, returning from injury, it's looking like for the Week 6 matchup in London, Tua will be back in Week 7 against Atlanta. But again, I don't like him as much. He's only 16% owned, but wanted to cover it just in case all these other guys were owned in your leagues with a lot of teams on bye. All right, before we move into the running backs, just want to remind you guys again, if you're not already subscribed here on YouTube, you need to be. Hit that subscribe button. Come hang out with us live every Thursday night for the Fantasy Football Smackdown, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Bring your questions. You have this show every Saturday, YouTube only, and then Sunday School with Memphis every Sunday morning as well, getting you ahead at kickoff. Those are just the YouTube-only experiences that you're going to benefit from by being subscribed here on YouTube, in addition to all the other regularly scheduled programming that appears here as well. So got to be subscribed on YouTube. Appreciate you guys checking out this show. Running backs. Let's move into the stashes. I don't know why in hell Alex Collins is only 45% owned. He should have been owned much more, 60+ at least, weeks ago when we knew Chris Carson was dealing with this injury. We saw them splitting time. Now, and then Carson misses Thursday Night Football. What are we doing? Are we asleep at the wheel here? Then the Friday news dump comes through. Carson's been put on IR. He's going to miss at least 3 weeks. I think Collins is going to be the lead back there, even when Rashad Penny returns from injury. I think Collins is going to be the guy. He's proven that this is a guy that they can trust. He's been here multiple times. He's 45% owned right now in Yahoo Leagues. Double check, make sure he's not laying there on the wire. He needs to be added. Number 2 on this list is J.D. McKissic. Again, I mentioned him, I think, on every show just because he never reaches that 50% threshold. He's a guy that I'd want to have on my team over some of these other stash candidates, but I don't love him. But if the game script goes right for Washington and McKissic, he's going to benefit. He's 41% owned. Marlon Mack, 32% owned. This is just for the possibility that he could be traded, which has been rumored. Number 4, Ramondre Stevenson, the rookie for the Patriots, 11% owned. Looks like Damian Harris is going to suit up this week for the Pats, but Stevenson did split carries with him in week 5 when Harris was dealing with the injury. It looks like he is leapfrogged J.J. Taylor, who's also injured. So I would stash Stevenson just in case over the weekend. And Rashad Penny, 7% owned. He's coming back off IR, should practice next week. Again, I still think it's Alex Collins, but if you're in a deeper league, nothing wrong with stashing that Penny. Deep league stashes Jarrett Patterson for the Washington football team. Just in case, we keep hearing about this injury with Gibson. It hasn't seemed to limit him yet, but this is a guy I'm just stashing away. And Dearness Johnson, super deep. This is the third running back. I know Felton's there in Cleveland, but this is the third running back for the Browns. Nick Chubb's already been ruled out for week 6. Kareem Hunt's been dealing with an injury. He should be good to go this Sunday, but Johnson's just a guy I'm going to stash just in case we've seen him fill in a time or two for the Browns. Wide receiver stashes. Sterling Shepard back this week. Should be a go. He's 50% owned. He was seeing a ton of targets when he was out there before, so I expect him to walk back into that role. Mecole Hardman, 47% owned. I'm stashing him. The reason I'm stashing him is just in case this Tyreek Hill injury is actually a thing. If he misses a couple weeks, I think Hardman would be the benefactor. Number 3 on this list is Rondale Moore. I know he took a hit with the Zach Ertz trade, but I still want to stash this kid. I like what I've seen with him. They've been working him into the offense. I think he's going to leapfrog Christian Kirk even further after this week. Number 4 is Rashad Bateman. The rookie is hopefully making his NFL debut this Sunday, 27% owned. And fellow rookie Ramondre Stevenson. Amon-Ra St. Brown, apologies, 22% owned. St. Brown has 16 targets over the last 2 weeks. It seems like we're throwing darts every single week at who the Lions receiver is to own. But with Hockenson a little bit banged up, Cephas now on IR, I think that he's going to be your guy right now. So 22% owned, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Injury stashes. Michael Gallup, 44% owned. The Cowboys are heading into a bye in week 7. Gallup could return week 8. You're thinking ahead right here, right? Stash him right now. T.Y. Hilton also activated off the IR. He could be a go as early as this week. He's 25% owned. I'd add T.Y. Hilton if you can. Deep stashes. John Brown signed with Denver. Rumor is they're trying to work him in. Again, long shot, deep stash. And then James Washington as well. Juju injury. Want to see how this one plays out. We're going to see Pittsburgh this week. Prime time. Everyone's going to be eyes on them. And then Pittsburgh's heading into the bye week. So this is kind of a long-term look ahead because Washington's not a guy that you'd play for 2 weeks, but deep league. Tight end, streamers. Ricky Seals-Jones at Green Bay, 26% owned. I love him this week as well. So if you have, Dan Arnold that he's heading into a bye week, if you even, this is a guy that you could play this week if you needed to. Just saying. So Ricky Seals-Jones for week 7, I'm good with him as a streamer. He's 26% owned. Again, lots of teams on bye next week. You're going to have Schultz. You're going to have Knox on bye, those breakout guys. Ricky Seals-Jones is next man up as far as if you're streaming tight ends next week. Evan Ingram at Carolina, 33% owned. There's not a lot of great options. Ingram has seen a handful of targets. People are getting a little bit more healthy there, but we'll see. Without Barkley there, without Galladay, maybe he still works his way into that offense. Gerald Everett's number 3 at versus New Orleans. It's going to be in Seattle. 32% owned. He's back off the COVID list, missed the last 2 games, but should be good to go. And then injury stashes. I know the ownership percentage here is super high, but I've seen Logan Thomas, even some of my 12-team leagues, starting to be dropped. I don't really get it. It didn't sound like it was going to be a huge long-term injury. They put him on IR, which was a little bit surprising, while helpful, so that we kind of knew what that timetable would look like. I expect him to be back in 2 weeks. So I would be stashing Thomas if he is dropped in your leagues. Just throwing that out there. 63% on right now. Just double check. DSTs, and that's the other thing too, real quick. You're going to see people dropping players that they would have otherwise stashed because we're running into bye weeks now. They're running out of room. So just always double check your wire. Make sure that there was nobody crazy that shouldn't have been dropped that was, because people are trying to slide them through there for a week, especially if that team's on bye. It's going to be off people's radar. DST streamers. Number 1, far and away, New Orleans Saints. If you're streaming defenses, this is your one option, in my opinion. The fact that I even listed 3 teams here was just to the benefit of other people that don't have New Orleans available in their leagues. The Saints, again, are on bye in week 6, so they could have been dropped. This isn't a great unit, but they have a great matchup. It's on the road at Seattle, but that's Geno Smith, baby. Saints are 40% owned. Go grab them right now. If you're streaming, this is the defense you need. The other 2 options, I don't even know if there's the other 2 top options. These are just more options. I guess the best of the bunch. Seattle, again, that one's going to be at home against New Orleans, going against Jameis. Hopefully you can count on a couple picks, 7% owned. And then the Raiders, again, not great, but they're going to be at home. They're getting Philly. And Philly's giving up multiple sacks at least in every game. And so I believe it was 8 or more points in 3 of 5. So I guess you could bank on the Raiders 14% owned, but I implore you to go pick up the Saints if you're streaming DSTs. Hopefully they are available in your league. All right, with that, there you go. Waiver wire sniping for week 7. Good luck in week 6. Get all those lineups set. Make sure you don't forget about that London game early and all those bye weeks in week 6. But if you have extra roster spots, stash a couple of these guys ahead of next week. 6 teams on bye, lots of firepower, going to be on a lot of people's benches. So you don't want to be left hanging because there's going to be a lot of teams that open up their league page on Tuesday morning and realize that half their team is on freaking bye in week 7. So until then, appreciate you checking out Waiver Wire Sniping. Stay tuned for tomorrow, Sunday School with Memphis, ahead of the week 6 kickoff. I'll be back with the Fantasy Football Smackdown Waiver Wire show on Tuesday on the podcast here and on YouTube. And then again, we'll roll it back next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, start sit ahead of week 7. So until then, guys, you guys take it easy. Stay safe. I'll catch you later.